Alright, we are back. My headset's still dying. But we have... Look at him go! Hey, Fusion. So today we're going to backtrack on something. And we're going to add the chat to the game. So that's going to be the goal. We're going to update the Twitch. Update the Twitch, update all the things. That's what we're doing. We're adding chat to the game, which was part of networking. Right? Chat to the datapad. Well, can't really add chat to the datapad if we don't have chat in general. So I had a chat system. And I remember this. Oh, actually, here, let me 1 second. I gotta make YouTube chat really big. I wonder, like, I wish you could just set the default values of all chat in YouTube. Like, instead of, like, zooming in the browser. I don't think it's free. Because I don't use Restream. So I don't know if their chat requires you to sign into their service or not. Alright, so API work is going to happen in the afternoon, and then this morning we're going to work on adding chat to the datapad, because it'd be pretty cool. Alright, it's go time. Oh yeah, right, no, I want to update my dashboard. He's gonna end up engineering his own solution and wasting a lot of time for what? I'm doing chat. Visual Fusion, like the stream on YouTube, discovery is quite high on YouTube after a few likes. Handle, message, it really should be ID and message, which we can resolve the handle. Oh, but it might not know. Yeah, that's fine. We can do ID, handle, message. Handle ID, yeah, let's do that. Oh, we're not relaying, yeah, we're not relaying the message. Hello. Is this the Sarah? It is the Sarah. Yeah, connect server, multiplayer. Yeah, we can still send the unique ID of ourselves. right now, what's that? Are you just using an encoding plugin? I'm just using one straight from the OBS. Yeah, I don't want to pull this from Game Manager. This might not be set right away. Anyway, and then of course our new text. But yeah, I think the handle shouldn't come from here, but it's fine. Alright, so for the server, we're going to go ahead and do our thing, relay all of this forward to all the players. And then when we're actually receiving it as the client, yeah, I don't need a custom instruct for that. Yeah, so we're just updating the player. Yeah, so then we'll do what we were doing before. Thanks for the reminder. Issue right now is he has two different chat windows. They're literally next to each other. Just remember one fusion that's 1 times 1 is 2. Alright, so this should fire this over. So we're always going to be relaying through the server. The server is going to be handling chat. Send our message RPC with our handle from our instance, but we'll get this from player data. We'll use our unique ID for the lookup. Yeah, now in my RPC, do we need to define? No, because we're already doing it for each player. We could technically do this. We could, if we already know the sessions, we could do RPC ID 2 the player that ID. That'll be the instance ID, so we could do that. Oh yeah, so we could actually decrease the data. Yeah, because if we know we're sending it only to each player, literally, then we can optimize this. What if that change? Yeah, so then this way, we're literally as a server only relaying this to each client, and then when each client gets it, it can do what it wants with it. More discoverability, more funding. I am a dictator. I have 9mm. The stream is... Chris gave me a Star Citizen armor. Now 9mm does nothing. My antics. Okay, let's see if this actually works. The only thing is I'm not updating that. I don't think I'm updating my data when we connect to the universe. I'm gonna find out. It feels silly to be watching from the bedroom rather than walking to the living room. I will rent stream time on Mono Studios. We should all remortgage our houses and buy Star Citizen chairs. Oh my god. Are we talking about the Star Citizen chairs? Do you know, Fusion, that like someone looked up the German company that actually makes them for Monster Tech, and they're just pretty good office chairs, but they're nothing special. So Rav is gonna join. Oh yes, we're gonna host a session. So I shouldn't get the messages though here as a host right now, but... Alright, so Rav is here. Hey. Okay, so I got a hey message. What's up? How are you? Cool, relaying okay. Blah 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 blah. The only thing is I'm literally spawning in ships here while I'm trying to talk, so you know, that's a problem. We seem to have a... You like the stream on YouTube for discoverability? Oh, hey, Merrick. Yeah, apparently now I've spawned. Yeah, so when we have the chat focused, we need to actually not. Yeah, I wonder if we should, we should player will send them the message for the handle. So the source handle is kind of unknown. It's not necessarily set in the instance of the game manager. So based on the prices, you pay an extra 200 for the logo. Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, and that's about right. Yeah, I think so too. Right, so we're authoritatively sending to server, and then we're actually looking at our players and iterating over their ID, which is in the players list. This is the session ID of the player that we're synchronizing. We could do a lookup. We could technically... Yeah, I think that might be easier. Just to find ourselves in the players list real quick, and not depend upon any particular code other than what we already have cached in the game manager, because we would have already had our players entry. We could use a link query for that, I guess. Yeah, server will be remove the player. I'm so lazy with my link. Yeah, let's grab our name from the yeah, so let's find ourselves in our multiplayer list. You use Toby? Oh, dude, I have the Toby SDK stuff not working right now, but I have the correct one. So I'm pretty excited to get Toby in the game. Let me just make sure that this is correct. So let me just do a gd.client player.handle and player.id. This should always exist at this point. There's probably a better solution to this, but I need to get this done. Server. Rav. Alright, so let's go here. And let's say, hey. Yeah, so that's Rav. Cool. Oh no. What did, yeah, no, it still comes up Rav. It knows that I'm Rav. Right, so it should be sending Rav and my session ID and the message. So it's still, yeah. Maybe it isn't. Yeah, if it's not relaying the handle. Oh yeah, right, because we're just making sure it works. Right, we need to actually send in the player.handle. Yeah, and then we just do it like if well, I mean, if they're null at this point, we can just return. Okay. There we go. And the cool thing is going to be getting it working. So this is fine. Because I want to do chat on channel 2. Let's go. Because I think chat in the morning would be a good goal. Chat's not complicated, but you know. Server is going to host. Okay. Rav's going to join. Let's give him a random color. Alright, so Rav is now there. This is universe.monolithic. Because I eventually want to build up a an actual infrastructure for chat separately. So it'll be a different server that we're relaying chat to. But for now, I just want to keep things simple. Okay. What's that? Cool. And then the server talks. It shouldn't do anything. So the server itself only relays. right? The server cannot send. Only players can send. Right? When they try to do it as the server. And what we're gonna get. Yeah, no players, because there's obviously no... the server is not in that players list. They're just RPC1. They're not a player. So when we are... So the way that I want to handle that... Yeah, so if we're the server, we're relaying to other players. Because we are receiving them as the server, as RPC1. And showing them up, but we're not sending them. Yeah. Because when we hit submit here... yeah, we can only send it to myself, which we're not doing. Working on chat systems. Hey, Eric, do you plan on NPCs having the ability to chat as well? Absolutely. But in a limited non-text, or sorry, they won't be in voice though. You'll be able to, you'll pretty much, the idea with NPCs is you would grow up with them. We have this data pad, and the data pad is used kind of as the UI of the game. Actually, wait a second. Let me finish that. GPT style? I don't know about GPT, but just, yeah, like just kind of like go up to them, and if they have a mission or an objective or anything, then they'll just kind of pop up on the on your chat. I'd love to have like an unlimited voice budget to be able to kind of voice some of them. It'd be kind of awesome. But and I will for certain events that we do. Yeah, so see what's using elements. We can't. The link statement is dying. We have the server. Let's go. So let me go into rigid body, empty testing. Yeah, let me just pop into empty test scene where I have a couple of the NPCs. And this is not like, this is my Unforgiven Systems is a project that exists without any of the main art assets. So any of the main characters or anything gets designed. So I can, you know, quickly make prototype gameplay mechanics that work for specific things. So, you know, the idea of the game is you have your, you know, different ships that you can spawn in, fully customized. All the ships have, you know, swappable components. Everything is, you know, fully modular. Everything can be configured. And for the NPCs, there's a couple over here on this nav mesh. But the idea is for there to be around probably like 32 NPCs on a station or so. And they each have their own kind of jobs. So the idea is that in each station there's 5 different nodes. So there's like an entertainment node, there's a food node, a water node. Godot engine is good enough? I think so. Let me kind of show you, let's get out of the systems build for a second. Let me kind of, for anyone that's new, let me load the real build. Let me close out systems for a second. Planning to have upgradability ship components. Yep, thrusters, everything will be upgraded. My approach is to not have not have like 150 spaceships, just have 6. And there's extreme modularity in between those 6. So the idea, I'll rip a ship apart and I'll just show you what I mean as far as scalability goes. the scalability. So here's like the actual female character. Like this is what the real ship actually looks like, you know, when it's not in gray box, right? So it's your typical space truck, right? We have our, so these are all electrical components. So these would be, you know, your comm array, uplink, and Starfield style more so, yeah. All of these can be removed. So every single one of these modules are 1 meter by 2, and these can be swapped out. The idea is when you actually get the ship, you have more mag storage, so you have more storage, right, for cargo itself. This wall can be moved back as you upgrade it, and there's certain like perks. Like if you have like a food module, you just have like more storage internally, you know, for like food stuffs. If you have a bathroom, doesn't really have much of a purpose other than role play, but a bed does actually allow you to log out, right? So it does have, you know, benefits to the modularity, but you know which modules you choose to you know, choose to upgrade. Now I have all the components ripped off right now from you know, just for the time being, but that's kind of how it works. And if I take one of these ships here and we kind of remove, I know there's no lighting in this scene, but you know, if you actually look at this from without the influence of the details, the ship is actually, you know, just square, right? So it's just the, you know, the whole cockpit area is literally just a 2 by 2 meter, right, column. Then we have 3 by 3 meters, and then the rest of the ship is just 4 by 4 meters. And that means that I can kind of wrap the ship in different designs, right? Different body types, different manufacturers, creating variations of the same type of medium ship without having to change out a lot of the components, right? So we can create a you know, a way of like, you know, quickly making a different brand without having to change, like just keeping all the metrics, right? Because the metrics for everything are super important, because it enables me to scale the game as an independent game developer a lot faster, right? So we can make more of a junker style. You can attach modules, yep, but only to a certain degree. Like you can attach you can take off the engines to put on all the new engines. There's not too much external modularity other than different hulls and different kind of, you know, additions to them. Like that might look a little bit different depending on the brand. Almost like when you're thinking about a truck, you know, like a transport truck. And this is just one of the styles of ships. We also have the transport ship, right? So on the actual transport trading, I should show you. Right. So in this variant, which doesn't look like much right now, the idea of this particular variant, which was the original variant, is by default these like expand to a perfect triangle, and there's a big hookup system on the back of the ship, and the idea is you hook onto the cargo containers and you kind of pull them like in Cowboy Bebop, like a space train. Right. So for a lot of the bulk transport, it's kind of like that. And if you look at some of the prototypes of some of the, and this is truly just, you know, like prototypes for like capital class ships. These are more like a Maersk, you know, like, you know, sea freighter. Only, you know, like kind of like take a sea freighter and flip it on top of each other, and now we have a kind of a cool Star Destroyer-y kind of, you know, capital ship that's just for transport, like more like shelled transport. Right, and it just has all the containers kind of like exposed, and it can kind of just come apart a little bit to help unload things. No modular rooms, not so far. I started working on another concept that would be bigger, which is let's go out of the. We go into the empty test scene. So I want to build a rock crusher, right? So this is a prototype, right, where we have like, you know, we're just blasting rocks, cutting them up, you know, pulling them into raw storage. And this design concept that I was working on is more, you know, complete modularity, so multi-floor modularity, where we have, you know, like actual room, we have, you know, regular storage, And this is very gray boxy. There's no detail, and like I'm just measuring out things and figuring out like what fits with different modules, and making sure we have clearances and room for everything. So ignore the. But it's just like an idea of creating something that's just still a little bit bigger, not by much, something within the still within the 32 meter range, right? Which is kind of the classification for what you would need for doing upgrades. And like and the modularity kind of moves. Let me actually show you here. So this is let me make sure I have the other one closed. So I'm here as the female character, and I just want to show you some like what I'm currently working on, I guess, on the Patreon side of things. So if I, the idea is in every station you could have your own hab. So if I purchase, let's say, a sofa, 2 bar stools, let me grab another one, the island in the middle, the island light, and like maybe 2 sofas, right? So we have physicalized items that we can actually move, right? And then once you actually have your own little apartment, it's the same item ports, right? That's in the ship. So this moving around modularity is the same. So if I go grab the island light, because I want my place to look kind of fancy, right? I can actually start snapping these in place, and then this would pretty much serialize. There's something like really slow here. One of the NPCs or something. Right, so you can put these anywhere, and you can rotate them on the item port, but the idea is they just socket into predefined item ports because it just makes it easier to serialize that data and not have anything lost all over the place. Okay, so it's up, you can kind of collect all kinds of different little furnitures and stuff. I'm gonna grab the 2 bar stools, and it's the same thing like you expect from 0G game. Like everything outside the gravity volumes is actual true 0G. Right? And then inside the gravity volumes, it's not. Right. Yes, I'm gonna put this one in. Right, so even in this one, right, there's only right now 1 standard habitation module. But I want to make a bigger, more expensive one, for like, the future. So if you want to have something a bit more permanent than kind of a rented room, like by default, it'll have like, kind of like a rented room would. It would have like a vending machine, a bunch of crap that just wastes your money. And then you can just pay to remove all that stuff and just kind of have your own little, home away from home. So that, and this system is the system that the ship uses, right? It's the same as putting item ports on the ship. And snapping components off and on. We're just serializing that data for the purpose of the habitation, right? Spawning in a hab is no different than spawning in a ship, right? So it's very, similar logic. But what's cool then is you can like go and actually like throw these on a ship just like regular cargo, and So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to get working here, like mostly for the summer, because I do have all the delivery missions system working. Like we can go do a delivery mission, right? Accepted, go finish it, make money. It's not like, right? So these are like just different NPCs that generate different missions. There's only 2, so we have a pickup and a drop off. This is pretty cliche, standard, SC-ish. Right, but it's the economics behind it all that I'm more interested in, right? So we just go open up the door, drop it off. If it detects that the mission is completed, right, then we, boom, we made money, it disappeared. If it has chat, it has multiplayer. If it has multiplayer, universe-sized systems, replication. Not doing server meshing, because I don't think we need them. The idea is every instance of Unforgiven Space runs its own system. So the server can just pretty much run the PCK file for that one star system, because the jump gates go from system to system anyway. And because we know the jump gates are going from a system to a system, whenever we get to a jump gate, we can consider the jump gate to be pretty much just like a lobby manager, where we're kind of like, okay, we've just gotten to the jump gate to Vega or whatever the name your other place would be. You put in the request, right? The jump gate kind of spins up, and you get a line to go through the jump gate. But the great thing is because the jump gates only go to the other predictable systems, you can make that establishment very early in the process, and and then it's more like basic logic of like, what region am I in? Do I have another friend online? Like, is there another one of these to begin with? Like, does the server have a spin up one to where I need to go? Right? Because due to inactivity, they kind of like spun themselves back down. Or, is there one already existing that has like a bunch of players on it? And just give you, a session, right? And then you would just go to the jump gate, normal. And then what's great then is on the client, you're just unloading, the universe that's behind you or the star system behind you. Loading in the one, for the server, and then you're good to go. And as far as the server is concerned, the server's only ever handling that one star system anyway, so it's pretty much easier to scale. And the server, if there's not enough activity, the server can run multiple systems, no problem, and they can also scale per region. But this way, you kind of get more of a Elite Dangerous style infrastructure. And that's only because, once again, I'm only one person, so I got to keep every single thing in the scope has to be fully doable. So I don't have the luxury of doing a lot of research and development, other than like the minimum viable product, right? And then of course, what I would like to do then is, once I kind of get everything working, is we could start looking into like taking a system and starting it, and being like, okay, if we're within this region, right, we'll be on this server. If we're on this region, we're on the other server. Or doing something like we just have, a server that's connected via memory, right, to some type of interposer, right, which can then be replicated. I mean, there's not a lot of changed things that really need to be replicated to players, right, that need to have a loss of authority anyway. So I don't know. It's that's kind of up into the air. Right, because it all depends on, like how far I can get with certain things. But yeah, so this Unforgiven space, it's pretty much like, a Star Citizen clone with blackjack and hookers, and meant to be more, where is the game at? Hey, Heavy Bob. Right, and yeah, so that's the spiel of things, I guess. And it is fully funded on Patreon. At $5, you get access to the build. $10, you get your own hab, at least right now. And, it goes, Bob. Anyway, so I'm going to get back into systems, because I'm going to get that chat just kind of working. But I don't think Godot is going to have much of an issue, which is what Merrick, I think Merrick asked, is Godot good enough? I'm using a custom 64-bit version. So we have around 80 million meters of space per system to work with, which I think is fine. And there will be planets, but they're going to be very basic. You moved everything to Godot? Yeah, I moved everything to Godot. That was a while ago. I fully ported everything to Godot. Planet sizes won't be extremely too big, because I don't think the planet sizes matter too much. If we consider the gameplay aspects of the planet sizes. Like, I really don't, like, other than like seeing curvature as a player, which could be kind of annoying, making things seem small. You have to be able to justify the content of the randomness. So when you're going to start offering the game as a live service, I mean, you could play on Patreon anytime, right? That's the I wouldn't say I'd call it a live service, but I just work on the game, and if people believe in said game, they fund said game, and we as a community just keep working forward on it. But I think planet size is probably at 1/6. How many people are playing at the moment? Not too many. Can you grief people yet? No. Yeah, that's what we were working on last week, Bob, is getting the Linux build going. But we now have the dedicated Linux build going. I have the client and server set up to be headless. So I now have a headless build of the game that's now running. And my goal for the end of the week is to try to keep the Patreon build up 110% of the time. What's playable right now? Right now, it's just the Unforgiven Systems build, where you pretty much log into the game. It's just this build here. Boo. Where I'm pretty much like every week I'm testing something, so it's kind of like what are we testing? So, right. So here we can go into online and connect to the online test server, which is just that scene that we were in, where we can spawn in. Everyone can spawn in their own ships and kind of like just kind of play the basics of the prototype. I have a bunch of scenes here, like rigid body testing, right, where it's just testing, right, different mechanics, buying components, selling them, right, testing out like the cargo grids, you know, testing out components. There's not, you know, like a lot of the systems I get them working, and I'm like, okay, cool, and haven't really, be like really close to the snap point. You should connect your test server to the server that it's on the Patreon build so everyone can fly past while you're working. That's the idea for the Patreon build. I want to keep a session running with the Patreon build so people can just jump in and kind of wave and just kind of keep it streaming and stuff. That's my goal. But I bought a new house and we moved, so everything's been kind of... yeah, like here's advanced NPC testing. Check this one out. So, like this is some of the future work I did with the NPCs. So this is what this NPC has all of the IK that a player has, right? So, and he's a little bit smarter. So once he sees me, he'll actually kind of like come towards me, try to shoot me. If I kill him, he actually dies. He'll actually come back to life, kind of. Right, just meant to be that security guard that we actually have to sneak around past, and you know, see how that kind of mechanic works. Right, and he should be shooting me periodically, but I don't think he is. And kind of run away from him here. I think I'm at a range. Yep. He's still looking for me. Oh no, he found me. Yeah, because I do want to get... hello, person. You're supposed to be stopping moving. And the other, oh yeah, I want to show you one more thing before I go back into the... So the NPC ship that's kind of flying, I don't have any weapons. We don't need weapons. What did I break? Is the ship inactive? It is. It's not a real ship. It's a scam. Wrong scene. Okay, fine. But my favorite thing is going to be mining, I think. When I get mining going, that's going to be my favorite thing. Now, where is that other ship? I want to show you guys the targeting. Oh, there you are. So I want to do I want to use a holo projector to kind of visualize it instead of an on-screen UI. So this is actually the ship in question in relation to me. And I'm going to have a little indicator of like direction, like kind of like a little compass ring. that'll kind of like just confirm the alignment and direction instead of the on-screen indicators. So the idea is that the hollow projector actually works as more like a, you know, a semi-interactable star map, and can scale into like specific sub-targeting. When we're scanning asteroids, it'll bring the asteroid up so you can get the composition. It can take up a bit more space than this. Obviously, I'm just kind of zoomed in here. Right, just to kind of give it some... And I gotta finish the shield shader and a few other things, but all the shield systems work. Shield faces, shield direction. Even though you can't see the effect of it, you know, you can actually see which, you know, which face is being hit and then how it's being affected. But I want to get the mining lasers and stuff like that working, because the mining lasers are cool. I want to get mining working, and I'll do one more quick little squirrel. Yep. What if instead of having the hollow on the side... Oh, hang on. Stupid heart man on the YouTube chat. What if instead of the having the hollow on the side... Let me make it bigger. Why not position it where the target ship is, like highlighting it? This way you can get rid of the square indicator. Oh yeah, I don't want to have the square indicator on there at all. Because the idea of the game is that it has very it's very like Cowboy Bebop-ish. I want it to be very low tech, so late like a hollow around the ship, you know. Very kind of retro futuristic. So I want to try to keep. That's why I like all of the UI. Like my version of Mobiglass is literally just like an interactable data pad, which you can then use to kind of scan people and stuff like that, like for like hacking gameplay. I want to try to remove anything that, like, right now there's like names above people's heads, but even that, right? So it's kind of a diegetic UI. Yeah, but I want to have a really interesting idea for how I'm going to approach mining, and I'm kind of excited to work on further over the summer. But I'm going to play around with it and see what works. Oh yeah, and that's the other final... This one I added last week as well, into this build. I want to get the interactable cockpits working. So this is the actual fighter. It doesn't have weapons on it, and it's very light. It's uncomfortably light right now. Right, it uses the same hologram type thing. I like the idea of making things that are upgradable, and I totally do not have the cockpit gloves, because I haven't... But yeah, so let's get the chat working. But hopefully, yeah, that's kind of like, you know, the game. Like that's what we're working on. That's the pitch. And the goal now of the summer is to put the main build, like the one with all the details, all together, and start getting all the systems working. Pause is on like 16 seconds. Oh, the highlighted Audi effect. The highlighted Audi effect? Chat. So I have, might be able to, because I do have a developer console. No, but I can still actually, yeah, okay, so I'm still not disabling the character, even with the developer console. So I wonder, yeah, so yeah, you need to put the Patreon information in Twitch information description of your YouTube. Oh yeah, yeah, I should do that too. Oh, it's an Iron Man scene? Gotcha. Yeah, trying to fix a broken engine after being stranded on an uninhabitable planet is a part of the gameplay. Trying to fix a broken engine? I mean, that's a scenario you could probably put yourself in, which could be kind of bad. If you ever do get stranded, on your data pad, you can put out a rescue. An NPC will come and get you in a worst case scenario, but it'll cost you money. And if you don't have any money, well, now you're in debt. And the game loves to keep you in debt. So if you can fix your ship that's broken down, stranded on a planet, you know, or maybe you went and bought a whole bunch of cargo and the gravity on that planet was way too strong for what you thought you were going to purchase or sell there. What's that? Yeah, where Tony wears the armor for the first time in his garage and the armor scans around. And yeah, the issue is that requires a helmet, some type of on-screen indication, which the game doesn't have. I mean, when you are wearing a helmet, I'll probably definitely have a HUD, but I need to create something that works. It's not magic, you know what I mean? There has to be like a tangible reason, like so we like take off the helmet, like oh shit, you know, like it's think of the universe as if we're in an Apache, you know, we have the MFD capacity of what an Apache could do. Moving hollow, we could move the hollow around, or we could just have it indicate where in the hollow, like a radar. Like I still plan to have it all work like that way. And then you can kind of focus on that target to bring it up, so you can sub-target. Sub-targeting is super important. It's gonna need to be you know, played with, like everything. I can always change it, try it out. This works. This doesn't work. Yeah, so we're not really disabling the player. We need to disable the player. We need an event call that disables the player authoritatively for themselves. That's a great that's what I love about developing this game, is a lot of times I can just push things and get people to play it and be like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is, you know, like, was this fun? Was it not fun? And there's a lot of things that are probably like kind of fun and not fun that I probably still won't compromise too much on. But it all depends, right? Like the, you know, it's an adult-ish themed game. So I'm already not getting a lot of people because it's like, you know, 18 plus game. Can't say it's sexist or anything, but you know, it's got blackjack and hookers in it, so it is what it is. It's a very unique game. That's what happens when you make a meme. And I see it. Is that a Star Citizen emblem for your? Yeah, because previously, if people don't know, I am the developer of Galahad, so the trading app for Star Citizen that competes with UEX and the other ones. And I'm just, you know, tired of not having a real economy. So it's like, I could put all this work into, you know, improvements for like the new upcoming cargo missions, or we can just make our own damn space game. So, you know, priorities. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there is a call. So chat is working, but we do need to freeze the client while the chat is active. And I'm pretty sure the player... See, I remember having this issue. And for the animation system, clone system, this is actually going to be called the actor system. When we were working on... okay, yeah, this is going to be expression body. Yeah, because we just don't want to be moving. Yeah, we just really don't want to be processing any input if we have a chat window open. So I really want to create another event handler. It's going to be a UI event handler. Just something that we can invoke for a single. Oh my god, it's so warm here. One second, let me open up the windows and try to get some cool breeze coming. I'll grab the fan. It is the fan coming through the microphone. Doesn't seem good. Yeah, so we could have something else described at this event. No, I don't. Yeah, because this is very emitting things that are decoupled by single to other things. So yeah, I don't really want to control the UI from the player, but I want to lock the player. I want the UI to reference the player. Yeah, I don't really have a way of turning this off now. Nope, I don't have a show or a hide. Oh, but it is a control, so it already has a show and a hide. Yeah, I don't really have a. What's the probably intro? I guess would be the. Yeah, that's what I do. So let's make the player. Player should technically have a reference to the main UI. If they're not, if they have authority. Oh wait. Yeah, so if yeah, so if we don't have authority, we're returning here, but we should have a reference to the UI. Did you create the UI card system like SC2 UI card system? Oh, you mean like the building blocks? Um, Not really, because building blocks in itself is just a render to texture system where you're just rendering stuff to texture, which is just how, I mean, that's how everything works. But Godot's built-in UI stuff is quite good. Like their UIs have been pretty fantastic. And what's cool is anything can be a Godot UI, including the Godot UI. So like I can like Godot is made in Godot, and I can make an entire graph node system, which would be used as an editor tool, but I could also then project that into a render texture, and it fully works. Like in a test that I made a while ago, I made this cool graph system. I don't think I have it here. Let me just see. It's called node. No, I probably don't have it in systems anymore. Because I was working on a node system for like dialogue and stuff. But yeah, like you could actually, a player could interact with that same UI system, right? So anything you can make that's a UI, you can also just kind of project to a render texture. I saw some, can you use HTML as interface structuring system? I don't think so. People have been working on like CSS style UI. And this is one of the proposals that was a few years ago. And I don't think there was any plans to support it. But the UI right now is very drag and drop. And pretty good. But this is the great thing about Godot, is I can just open Godot and just add anything to it. You know what I mean? If I want to get the Planet Tech working a bit faster, I can build it in C++. You know, everything's open source. If you have a problem, or you have something that you want that's unique, just put in a proposal. You know, and it's yeah, like you kind of have that freedom, right? In so many ways. Yeah, the UI, let me go in and organize some of this. Because I think the view cursor should actually be interfaced through the UI. Like, a lot of this can actually be changed. It could just be, yeah, private set. Bro, really congrats on the dedication. As a game dev, I know how hard it is to dedicate to your own projects being solo. I don't mind. I'm like I'm in this now for it to be done. I've been working on it for a year and a half now, and I mean, like, I pulled the plug. Like, check this out. Like, this is where I was. Twitch, Revere, videos. So I sacrificed everything at this point, and said we're moving to Unity. And I had to create like a full custom solution for Fishnet for it to work, for the scalability that I wanted. And I just, like, you know, regardless, PhysX is still 32-bit. Unity's transforms are still 32-bit. Whole bunch of rebasing, whole bunch of crap. Right? It was just a lot of work to make a space game in Unity. And you know, and a lot of this was pretty close on the Unity side at the time, right? Like, I had all the IK working, you know, everything, all the weapons were working, components I could spawn in a lot of the sub-components. Now there's a whole new really cool system for Godot, where if you have a skeleton 3D that's already been retargeted, and you have another prefab that has child things that are skinned to that mesh, you can just save those as a sub prefab and bring them in, and they just work. So clothing and stuff like that, I think in Godot is going to be much better. So this was like, you know, back in the Unity days, in the vertical slice. And the object, like the nested object container type system was working. I'm working on a zone system for Godot. They're kind of going to use local physics zones that can nest. How hard was it to migrate? 6 months. It took 6 months to fully rewrite everything. There was over like 600 C# scripts that I had to put. So here I am inside the ship, and the ship's like rotating, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not experiencing it. It's stable. You could have other players in the ship with you. It was fine. See, I don't even have the interaction stuff, but yeah. You could, so I could. You see, there's a little bit of jitter here now, as I'm exiting this zone of the station, like the gravity panel. But you know, it all kind of worked as far as you know. At the end of the day, I just want players to be able to buy cargo and sell it and make money. I like some of the lighting of Unity, but some of the lighting of Godot is actually better. I just don't have, like, a lot of my Godot assets are not fully, all the materials and stuff are not set up, so it's not, but here in an example, I just spawn in a ship and I just kind of clip it in. I change authority, right? I pop out and switch with the other player, and you know, and that's kind of where I am now, kind of with the Godot side of things. But I threw all this out when Unity started being focused on PvE or PvE PvP. I do want pirates to be a thing. You got to have the risk of being pirated. Think more like Sea of Thieves, right? When you think about how it plays, like I'd like the time it takes you to get around the whole system to be similar. The time frame of sailing around in Sea of Thieves, and you can think about delivery missions as kind of being like the Merchant Alliance in Sea of Thieves. So it's similar to the number of players concurrently that I would like for you to be around you. You know, like to for that risk versus reward, right? Like I think there's a bit of a balance, you know, where you do always want to have that little bit of risk. But yeah, it kind of sucks that I had to throw it away. But some of those shaders were actually wonderful. But yeah, that's the you know, that's where I was with it. And in 6 months, I've right, this is, if we look, like there's a lot of code. Right, there's a, you know, there's a ton of code, right? Like that I've had to port, right, for the item systems, NPCs, logic, state machines, you know. It was but a lot of it was pretty one-to-one. What visual style do you plan on having? Like it kind of is. You know, in the main project, we considered using a toon shader. Yeah, mostly just what's on the main, like the other project with the female and male. Right, because that's what the female is like for the female and the male, and of course she does have, ignoring all the IK. Yeah, just need to turn off the hair. Where does it last? Still missing some hair. Well, that's kind of the extent. This glass shader is not actually working, but I gotta get the male ported over as well. And like some of my weapons are almost at final art, but a lot of them are still placeholder. Like I got a lot of work to do on the for FPS side of things when it comes to getting ADS working nicely, which I'll do on the systems project. I'll kind of make sure I kind of get that working. I also want to have lean. I think lean's kind of important, and crouch is necessary this week as well, as far as like the animation stuff goes. I want to get more stuff done on the networking side. Like first, I want to get the chat working, get the dedicated build running, get player habs in, and get the API work that's needed to finish the getting the habs and ships actually you know, on the API. That's super important. So if I can just get my ship, you know what I mean, like fully updating all the item ports and being like persistent, so I can spawn it in not just from a local save file, but you know, from, you know, the actual like universe server. And same thing with habs. Like if Patreon members can go and actually buy furniture and, you know, like sock it into place and then go up to a console in their hab and save it, then I'm good, right? That's kind of like getting back to the promise, right? Getting back to the, like the backer tiers and that kind of stuff. That would make me super happy, and so I can keep. I want to get back in the art again, right? Final art on the ships, making more station modules because this original station, the one here in space, was only created because I wanted a really good test ground where everything was kind of here, and NPC traversal will be really easy, right? There's only one kind of nav mesh, right? The hangars are straightforward. The goal was obviously to make a more massive cylindrical kind of station. I do have one in the main project that I poured over from Unity, which has like a big, more like a spire of these individual hangars, kind of like more like the old space truckers, the kind of diner. And I want to get back to that again at some point, but I think this is kind of good enough to be able to be like, okay, we have 2 clone stations, we can buy cargo, we can sell cargo, we can go do some missions, go to that location, right? NPC ship spawns, kill the NPC, test a flight model, right? That's kind of the idea. Talking about API, planning to have external APIs to serve trading and economy information, for example. Probably. I mean, they're going to be created. I don't know how exposed they will be, but that's how I'll be doing everything, is have a single universe server that handles everything and just kind of, we just expose it as we need. Then I can actually do something like Galog for the game, but it depends on like how I want player discoverability to be. I don't really think players knowing about trade routes really affects the viability of a trade route, because in reality, if someone is reporting that this is the best trade route in the game, it's probably the trade route you shouldn't do, because by the time 5 people jump in on it, it's no longer the best trade route. It's where the pirates are waiting for you. So, information, you kind of, if you have public information, you want to try to take the median amount of that data, you know what I mean, and utilize it to your benefit. Maybe ship construction management straight in browser would be cool too. Yeah, and I did some 3 JavaScript stuff on the universe server. I exported a bunch of this stuff. I think it's in our tab or something like that. Not sure. Let me log in. I have. No, don't have it here. Yeah, like web game integration. Because I didn't want you to be able to log into the website, claim your hab if you have one. That's kind of what I started. You can already log in to the game, and you can also log into the idea is you just create your account on the API itself on the universe server, then log into Patreon to kind of like update your rewards, and then when you log into the game, right, then you'll have those rewards. But there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with that. You're not selling ships, right? I can't make them fast enough. My God. I spent a year, making the trade van. I'm getting better at it though. It only took a couple days to make the mining ship prototype, but no, that's the goal, is to be able to make stuff that's modular. I could just go in and change some blend shapes, and add some fins and some designs, switch it up without having to change the ship, I also added a pool, but that's not in the build. One of the first things I made. Actually, yeah, I'll show that up. Let me. Don't save. A few people, but I'm mostly solo deving. I'm hoping that once like my goal for the summer is my goal is to go back to work part-time. I know that's not going to happen, My summer goal is to try to get up to around 4 to 500 USD in total memberships on the Patreon. But I really have to spend the summer making this build fully playable, so people can kind of see. It's one of those like put your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean? Like just prove, right, that you can make this shit. And because I think as I do that, it'll grow. I mean, as an example, what's it called? Road to Vostok is a single player survival game in Godot, ported over from Unity. It's kind of like a Tarkov, but it's just single player, but it looks really good. And they've been doing a lot of YouTube videos. Obviously, I haven't been doing any YouTube videos or devlogs or anything, which I really should, but no time. But if they're able to get to this point, I can totally, you know what I mean, like work on the game part-time and just hire someone to do art. Hey, Caveman Crafting. And that's my goal, right? I'm just going to keep working on it and keep working on it and keep working on it until it is, to a certain degree, taken serious, I guess. She's the coffee bearer. I'm sitting here grinding away in my Planet Tech from a game. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to working on that. I started working on some basic stuff. Are you using compute shaders, Caveman Gaming, for planet generation? And also, what engine are you using? Oh yeah, and the other thing we had it last week too was the comrades. I'm using Unity, and I'm directly manipulating the mesh vertices. Okay, cool. Yeah, I used what was it called? There was a wonderful blockchain library for Unity. I think it wasn't Orion. Oh, what was it? Oh, Space. Maybe? Was it Orion? No, I do have this one. No, there's another one that like fully does like surface the planet, as well as mesh colliders, which is fantastic. It wasn't Orion. But they used it in Kerbal. Do. Same with better lit shaders. You've seen a lot of them, yeah. If only Godot had such a thing. I mean, they do. There is one, but the issue with the one that's currently working, that's open source, and you can just totally like play with it on GitHub, is it's based on a voxel engine. And I don't need a voxel engine. I really want to stick to meshes for the game. Or like a hybrid model where like the planets have a mesh standardized, tessellation system like they normally would, but then, they're kind of like blended via shader through some type of voxel volume, which could be used for like, actually carving out stuff for, doing mining, but I don't think I'd want everything to be voxel based. I also don't like the look of marching cubes, even if you kind of use a shader to kind of like smoothen marching cubes to kind of look good, they ultimately still look like marching cubes. So I don't know. Yeah, which the UI chat. What's your game about? And also, Caveman Gaming, Caveman Crafting, do you stream? Space game similar to yours, but I'm going down more the line of mix. Oh, that's cool. Check. And if I'm just gonna make it a public computer and then it's set. Chat, that's it. Must be more restricted than the property index. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, let me put the chat here. Let's see. Space game going to be heavier in crafting survival economy. I don't really stream as of yet, but maybe getting into it as things are further along. I've not really been impressed with a lot of the planet gem packs out there. Yeah, me either. On the Unity side. Hey, Proton. Hey, Revere. I got an answer to that question I asked you earlier. Oh, hell yeah, that's awesome. I want to see the results. There was one that I liked, which was like World Creator Pro, but it was only geared towards trains. Yeah, I've seen World Creator Pro. I think I have some of those. It's scary, the amount of assets that I've purchased in Unity. Like, if you actually go into the Unity store and you look at the total number of things that you own. Yeah, it's kind of scary, that's for sure. We need to know if it's hidden. Do controls have an invisible, is visible property? UI show chat. We press it. We'll do UI. Toggle chat. Let's see if it toggles. So we should only have that UI reference if we are the authority. Okay. Yeah, their setup for the editor is really good, and I'm stealing that. I meant to hide that. Okay, let's do server. Give myself a color. Enter is not really doing anything. Oh wait, maybe it's UI underscore enter. Maybe there actually isn't a default enter binding on the input map. Because I don't think I do. Yeah, I think it is UI accept by default. Which I don't want, because I don't want spacebar or enter working on that. So interact. No. Doesn't exist. Now it does. And, ooh, good up rash. That's good one. What's the difference between KP enter and enter laundry? Enter physical. Just be enter. No. Jew. If we assume that the dot V is a member of the triangle, Ti I0 in -1, we calculate the normal vector for each Ti, and then we calculate the component average of the unit normal vectors, normalize the average vector to the unit vector, and then we have a ready normal vector for dot V. Component averages are the axes, the normalization, we divide each component with the vector length, so we get a common vector length. Did you update the project yet? Like the ending scene? With the normals? That is so low level to do. Like, it's so crazily impressive. Let me just get the few I need. And make sure we're actually getting the UI. Enter should be good. Ugh. Yeah, because we already have input here. So maybe it needs to be on input and not on handled input. Yeah, this is not being called for either. Toggle menu works though, escape works. Weird. Wait. I'm an idiot. That's the old player script. Yeah, that could be fine. Yeah, because chat needs to be a little bit more smarter. So when you hit enter, I want it to open, but only on the first time if it's been closed. And then on escape, then we'll close it. Yeah. Okay. Enter will always show the chat. I mean, we'll actually override that. My message virtual. How should I do? Is it fine? Probably. Yeah, we will see the book. Void show that. We won't use the built-in. So we'll show it. But I also want to do focus. So we want to be able to automatically focus the chat. So when we send this, yeah, text chat to append, input. So we should be able to do chat input. That's fine. Let's see. So we shouldn't need this. We'll just do show it, and we'll do text input. Yeah, chat input. Focus. Can I grab focus? And then we'll just run this show chat instead. On the UI. And let's just make sure that it grabs focus. And then escape, if it is open, when we get escape, we want to close it. Maybe we'll bring it back. And regardless of it toggling the menu or not, which is what escape normally does. 50 and chat. If chat is visible. I should have it. Hopefully that will defocus by default with the hide. We're almost there. Okay, so the server can't do nothing. Good. So this way, I can disable the player. I wanted to when this gets active by the player. But I want to be moving around. I want to temporarily put the player into a disable mode. And because the player has access to the UI and the player is the one making that call, we'll lock the player inputs while the UI is active. Yeah, we don't want it to send. And then if the new text. Let's null first, and then we'll lecture. We really don't want to be sending no data. I'll be right back. Bathroom break. Maybe I'll get a reload of some more coffee. Whew, okay, back. And finish doing what we were doing. What are we doing? Oh, making sure we can't send messages and that the chat is actually turned off now by default. Yeah, we need to stop spawning in things. While chat is active. Okay. When chat is active, thanks for the follows and Sapel. Mate, stop spawning in chips. Okay then. Alright, so let's get that working. So that's from the player. Oh, 7. Nice t-shirt, thanks. It's actually the girlfriend. Totally unfamiliar with the band myself. So we're going to do, we not have chat. Chat, like, chat could be null. Actually. That is for non-multiplayer, a thing that could happen. And we need a generic has focus of sorts that we can kind of use in the player. But a bunch of edge cases. I'm just going to say if the chat. Yeah, maybe there'll always be a chat UI. Let's write in chat. It is visible. It is visible in tree. Now visible. This way, this universal has focus on the main UI node. Can be used to kind of stop most input. How's it going, Rick? Now, this should now be working. So, put me in the join. Oh. So the server will be the host. Let's join, there's over here. Color, any color. Player. Enter, hey. Player. I can't spawn in ships or send RPCs because I'm focused. Now I can. Cool. Yeah, the only thing is when, not too bad things, was checking out some Star Citizen streamers, came across your stream. Oh, cool, awesome. Yeah, we're working on a game called Unforgiven Space. If you're new, I'm at, it's called Unforgiven Systems. This is the test project, where I'm kind of working on more of just game systems, and then we have the main build, which is more of the final art, you know, where I'm actually doing a lot of the prefab generation and give you an idea if you're just kind of tuning in of what the game will look like, you know, in its more you know, final form. Right, this is the actual space scene. Here's our initial cargo ship. So everything is modular. We have our comm systems, electrical components, and of course this is our standard, kind of like a freelancer if we're familiar with Star Citizen. And the ship's fully modular. You can take off all the components, upgrade, you know, pretty much everything on it. And yeah, you're just kind of like living in the verse, you know, buying and selling goods, doing missions, and you know, in a much kind of smaller scope game. Yeah, first time checking in. Looks great. I've been playing for just over a year. Nice. Hey, Ariana. I haven't caught you in a long time. How's it going? Is this going to be multiplayer? Like, yeah, that's what we're working on now. We're working on multiplayer systems. It's really funny. Back in my original game that I was working on before this, which was called Sea of Clouds, made in Ariana in my Twitch chat, was one of the first persons to create a custom avatar and log into the game for the first time, which was like super awesome. But yeah, I was working on it for a year and a half in Unity. We switched everything over to Godot, so I'm now using a full custom build of Godot, which is 64-bit, and everything's migrated over. You still have your avatar saved? That's awesome. Yeah, I have a lot more cosmetics on, or cosmetic options when I get the character into into the current build. Well, that's kind of what I'm working on now. It's in the multiplayer project. This is going to be like this week's work. We're going to be doing I got to change the API endpoints for saving the ship components and a few other things so that everything is persistent again. But here in Universe Online, which is once again just very, very basic stuff. This is meant just to be my test, so I'll do the server build. The server can't chat, but it's just a host. Even though it does have an avatar that represents itself. So if I did like Airy, and I pick the random color, and join, right? The players now have, you know, the custom synchronized properties. The idea is that, like, you know, when I get the final skin shader back in, right, the blend shapes, skin tone, color, you know, the choices and whatnot are all going to be, you know, synchronized with the connection request. And then, right, so all the IK and stuff like that works. GPU. And of course, if we run over here and spawn in a ship, And I'm just going to experience this, so let's jump in. Right, so if I interact, some of the animation timing doesn't sync perfectly, but it's fine. So my own weight of the other player right now is kind of messing me up, so we won't, you know, it's, I'm stopping myself because I'm not actually being considered a part of the rigid body. But I will just leave and let Ares' character take off. Whee! Right, so a lot of the principal stuff here is working. Right? I just want to right now. I want to get everything back into the Patreon build. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing I added to this particular build. Let me just clip out comrades. Yeah, so that's the. So I want to get the comrades working as well because they're pretty simple. And just a disableable state of whether the the station can uplink and send data. But I worked on these last week as well. Well, all the NPCs and stuff are synced, right? It's the and they all the NPCs have their own data. Congrats, man! Looks like it's gonna. Looking forward to the game release. Yep. And what I've been like what I'm working on, because I'm working on this full time now over the summer. So I literally have 8 weeks to make this build, completely playable in its very basic form. My goal is to try to get the patronage up to around 400 over the summer. It's not much, but it'll be. I really love to go back to work part time next year, and focus on the game. That's my goal. Yeah, we have all the asteroid tech and start so every, pretty much every week going forward. I haven't done a build last night because I want to get chat working, but every I'm just going to keep pushing builds, right? Just push builds, push builds, push builds. Yeah, until suddenly there is a game, right? So that's kind of how it'll kind of happen. So this is from way back in the Unity days, and unfortunately, it has taken me 6 months to convert everything over. So we lost a lot of the patronage over that time, which I don't blame anyone. Like switching game engines is probably not a smart choice, when you're into a project, but it was necessary because it gives me the power to make exactly what I need for the game because it's fully open source. I'm not limited by Unity. I'm not limited by any company. I'm only limited by my own ability, and I'd rather be in a situation where I'm limited by my own ability than be limited by the company that's supposed to be supporting the product. Oh yeah, and let me give a shout out to Maiden Ariana. So that's the goal of the summer, is not to shill the game or sell the game, but prove that the game is viable, right? I'd love to get to a point that when I do a Kickstarter, I'm doing the whole Kickstarter in-game. You know what I mean? Like the whole pitch is kind of like, hi, we've made this thing, it works, we need money to expand said thing to reach a specific, target, where most of that money would literally then be spent on further asset creation and even some marketing. You know what I mean? Because like it works. It's not just an idea. It's something that's been engineered to I don't know, to work. So I think that's it. What was the oh yeah, what is that initial universe server thing? Oh, it was me testing. So auto wrap is fine, tab size is fine. I don't think doing threading. Yeah, I think that's it for chat. Because I want it to get chat. My goal is to get chat in the concierge stuff. Will put you ahead of most Kickstarters. Yeah, concrete stuff will put you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of and if I can reach that, dream of kind of being where like Bostock is, then I'm good. I'm just full-time working on the game, and you know. And I love streaming it because it's fully transparent. Like, you guys see the issues that I run into as they happen, and if we have to make compromises where it's like, no, we actually can't do that, then they're like transparent. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, we tried it, it didn't work. You know what I mean? We fucked up. We're gonna do this instead. Yeah, right? It's I don't know. I think it's a better way to make the game. You're literally making it, you know, in the eyes of the community. So I want to do a build and put this thing on the server, and then run another headless client and see if this is truly working. And if so, that'll be the Patreon build with so many changes. I have a Discord. In the Discord, I have this. We have a channel in Monolithic Studios. Yeah, so all of my ClickUp progress is just here, so you can actually see, you know, what's being moved. So if you're ever like curious of like, you know, like what's, you know, what's the current task, what's being worked on, is it done, and you know what's being moved from sprint to sprint, then tis there. Tis in the Discord. Yeah, so that's fine. That's good. That's good. So we want to go to. So we're. Files, projects. Widow builds. Unforgiven systems. Alright, let's do a build of Unforgiven systems. There's still desynchronization issues from bugs, but I think that's fine. So I want to export my dedicated server. Go for debugging, sure. And I want to run it headless and then connect with 2 regular players and just see if we can talk, if we can chat, if it relays correctly. Okay, so now we should have our headless server. So we're going to run Unforgiven systems, headless server, and this will just log in to the API. Alright, so the server's online. Let's run 2 clients. And what I want to do this time, because I still think it's going to fail, but I want to have one of the clients spawn their ship. Oh, wrong scene. Thanks. Universe Online. And if you guys aren't following on YouTube, definitely check out the YouTube channel, because I will eventually post vlogs. It'll happen. I'll get time. So let's use Airy as an example. So it's 5 p.m. Airy Anna. I have to do it. I have to make them. I gotta put time in the project management because they like make a VOD. People need to see the stupid game being made. Yeah, so we're gonna join. Yeah, so the dedicated server is running. We should now be able to join fine. Let it synchronize. Let's do revere. And I'll be green. Okay, so now we should have both our players. Okay, and enter. Hey. Oh yeah, the only thing is, when we initially... Oh yeah, that's gonna be... We can only see chat if it's open. So, cool. What are you up to? Not much. Cool. Well, I'm a very good talker here, right? So this is everything that's being relayed by the RPC, and that's good because we're only sending it one way. We're only replicating it to other players. So this works. Now we can just close this out. Close this out. I'm going to have Airy go over here and spawn on the ship. Okay, so authority of the ship should be on the server, but Ares should be able to grab authority. So this should actually work, because the V-Joy should now be working. And now, for the first time, I'm just going to let that kind of yeet around. So that ship should have authority and should be synchronized. Now I'm going to spawn in my ship. Now does Ares' character see the ship? Yep. I don't know why the ship's so not balanced. If you could just stop being crazy right now, thanks. Now I should have authority over this ship. Okay. And we will worry about what the hell is on the go with the multiplayer ship balance later. And it works. Okay, yeah, so this is fundamentally on the networking side, everything we need to start playing the game together. Yeah, love seeing all the building blocks get put in place. Hell yeah, yeah, it is fun. The next big engineering feat of the summer is going to be that zone system that I need to work on for the ship interiors. Pretty much the same way it works in Unity. It just I have a more clever idea. But that should be it. These servers now, I should be able to technically eventually just swap ownership. I need to figure out why the ships are so heavy, why they're moving on their own. I think it's the component, the physics layers and stuff are not set up. The multiplayer ships versions of the prefab have not been touched whatsoever. But now we have a build we can play together. I can actually feel comfortable and talk to each other, and I'm going to actually push this one live, and we should be able to connect. I'm going to go put this one on. I'll have to do patch notes on it later because there's been 3 weeks of patch notes. But I'm going to get one of you guys to play. Just gonna go and drop this update for this build, for my builds. Oh man, and then we got to, so that was my, what's my uptime? This morning's goal in the morning stream, if it's within 3 hours and my time is right, my goal was to spend 3 hours working on uptime. I was going to spend 3 hours working on the multiplayer build and chat, and then we're going to spend another 3 hours either in the afternoon or now working on the API for the HAB and ship serialization. So there is a possibility that we'll actually get all of it done today. Which means really soon we'll be able to actually have persistent chips that are customizable. That'll be kind of cool. Let me just explore here real quick. Yeah, so let's do this Unforgiven systems build. Let's go the old one. Oh. Put this one up on the old Google. Monolithic, Patreon builds, and okay, replace existing. Version 9, uploading right now. And it is up. So for those that have access, let me copy the link. I'll share the link if you guys already have access to it. Put it in the Discord. In progress. Just throw it here. Just say new Patreon builds of US systems being tested live. And if anyone wants manual access to that, just kind of as a tester right now, if we don't have anyone that can test, maybe Antics will help test this build live. And see Refusion. See if we get a couple of people helping here. Okay. Cool. Now, this... Yeah, so I'll need to do another Linux build. Let me go in and change my router real quick and change it to my computer. So let's do all of the US main builds for 7,000. Let me just change those to this one. Okay, and then UPnP should work. Yeah, there's probably not too many on. Alright, let me run this again. Headless. Yeah, I never checked to see if we can actually get access to the... Yeah, let me actually confirm. Just run the build regularly. Make sure we can actually click on multiplayer. And that the scene actually loads. Alright, so we are in multiplayer, RAV, multiplayer, blah blah blah, going. Cool. We'll leave this open. We're testing chat, and chat's fine. So for the API stuff, I'm going to leave these two builds up. Maybe I need one if someone else is going to join. So I'm just going to connect those myself. And I'll be the green guy. I'm just going to live on the server for a second, and I'll leave this in the background while we're working on the API stuff. And see if we can get some people to connect in the future. So for the API stuff, so chat's good. I don't have it added to the thing, but chat is on the client. So chat to the datapad is really only putting the chat UI on the datapad, literally. But I need to also, this needs to technically interact with the equipment system for it to pop the comm link open. But I'm good. Like I didn't realize that I already created a chat, so that default chat is fine for the time being. I'm actually just gonna backlog this to the to-do list. Yeah, I don't know if we did a Patreon handles reservation or a way for the. Yeah, but that will be technically a part of the profile. Create an API that pulls down a list of reserves, which we use in the client. Just log into US, I think. Oh, okay. It's for the client. Okay, it's the list of ones that can't be used, but that can probably happen on authentication or on registration, actually. So I don't think it actually needs a list of registered names, unless I pull down the list of registered names just for the client. So it just doesn't even allow me to put it in, instead of having to send a request and be like, nope. But yeah, I'm not sure that really matters. Sanitize reports, I didn't do that. And we do need to get a an SMTP server running. Maybe I'll do something with MailChimp or something. With a PHP API to automatically send the tokens. Because I was using Google Apps for my main domain, but I'm not now. So I had to probably grab a mail service over the next bit. Okay, allow visibility of Patreon rewards. Not priority right now. Ship authority for this is kind of working. Ship authority for ship stations, not for Copilot. And I'm not even adding the Copilot seat yet. I will later on, but I don't think that's a priority right now. So instructions. Ooh. Connect to. Yep. So multiplayer. And server IP is universe. Monolithic. Pick color. Put in name. And we'll see if that works. So Fusion's gonna log in and join us. And we'll see if it works. Oh, it's respawned. He's pink. Look, there's Fusion. Mr. Fusion, hi. Mr. Fusion, I need you to go and spawn a ship by pressing... Oh, hit enter, Fusion. Hey. Hit enter to bring up the chat. What's up? What's it? What I want to have is a... so I need a version of the chat. If someone says something. Cool. So Fusion, if you're able to hear me, O spawns in your ship. Alright, so Fusion is going on a maiden voyage on their own ship. And this is cool. Once he finds a way to jump up and get inside it. Where's he gone? Oh. Why are you under it? Alright, Fusion, go jump in the seat and fly it. There we go. Okay, he's figuring it out. Oh, on my own. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Bye. Yeah, this works fine. And what's cool is we'll soon have the serialization work. So Fusion is having all kinds of troubles flying it because I'm totally aware that it's imbalanced and not set up correctly. But look, there's Fusion. Yeah, so we gotta yeah. See, once the despawn does not synchronize on the laser projectiles. I'm gonna go take my ship and go. I gotta fix that issue. I know what it is. It's a collider in the back of the ship. It's causing it to freak out and imbalance it because the collider is like bigger than the mass of the ship itself. You gotta like kind of give it a tap. No. Abandon the ship. Oh no, it's fine. Another ship. Y gets out of ship. Hang on. Y gets out of ship. Come to the convoy. Oh my god, he spawned in like a million of them. Or I've spawned in a million of them. There's like a dozen of them now on top of each other. Oh, it's so funny. Fusion's just like, well, he's landed successfully. Oh no, that spawned a million chips. Oh god, he's spamming the button. Oh dear god. Yeah, and they're all like physically clustering together. Just him breaking things. Fusion, we didn't mean that. What is he doing? He's firing down there. Well, I was gonna say come over to the comrade, but there's ships over there. There's ships everywhere. Gotta go, buddy. Okay, have a good one. Now when he disconnects, it should pull all of the ships, but we'll see. Yeah, gotcha. Oh my god, like over there's a cluster of a million ships. How many do we have? Curious. How many is this? So 2 sessions running. Non-remote. What is synchronized here? Oh my god. Okay, so 31. Session 1, what is the most data? Still probably the NPCs. Yeah, because I'm not getting any RPCs. And only the ones that were in. Oh, okay, yeah, so it's just okay. Fun. Okay, let me, how many emails? Working and lurking, otherwise we try connecting? Yeah, no worries. I don't know. I don't think it'd be too crazy. Like, we're only just sending, like, 2-factor authentication tokens. And it would all be sending from like webmaster, whatever, you know, accounts at Monolithic Studios or something. We just really need a mail sending service that, you know, secure. Okay, I'm gonna restart this because Fusion has completely spawned in way too many ships. We need to limit the number of ships that can be spawned per player, so we need to make sure we know, make sure the owner is set, even though like server has authority, you need to know the owner has, you know, already has their ship, and have like maybe a spawn limit of maybe 3 ships, which would be great. So this all works fine. Cool. I might have a break at this point and get some lunch. And I think this is great. Do I have a social link? You guys are not following the YouTube channel. Check out the YouTube. And for those interested in helping with the project, check out the Patreon. And we're gonna probably go raid someone. And then we're doing boring API stuff next. And I might take some time to fix the authority on the projectile spawning as well. Because they should really be only on the server, replicated by the server to the client. Yeah. Okay, ready time. Thank you guys again for the support. You guys are awesome. Those on YouTube, yeah, I really needed to start, you know, multi-streaming more. But I'll end it here on YouTube, and we'll be back later.